dia. Bom dia, Cream.
Hi,
Kumbay.
Vicky, how are you?
We're good.
Oh, you look great.
Thank you.
my
Nobody
God.
can see me though.
I have hair that's meant for a podcast.
Welcome everybody. Today's first episode of Art Vibes, a collaboration between Cas di Cultura and the collective Cream of Woo.
Yes.
Who's our guest today?
Our special guest is Mr. Carlos Bislip. Mr.
Welcome,
Carlos. How are you? Welcome.
Thank you for inviting me.
Oh my God. Trust me, the first guest.
You're the first guest of our first edition.
Okay.
We had a list of people, and then we were like, "No, Carlos is on that list. Put him on the top of the list."
Yeah, I'm like flying in the dark here. I was just asked the other day to come here. Just come and and talk. All right.
Yeah.
That's what we're here to do.
Yeah, well, today we started to do this podcast because we'd like to talk about art and culture from A to Z. That's why it's called Art Vibes. And let it be a promotional tool also for art and culture on this country, on Aruba, and share Aruba with the world as well. Today we have a little bit of a special theme, which is Cas di Cultura's 62nd anniversary, coming up November 15th. The importance of performing arts in the community in general, and that's why also we invited Carlos, because he's been with us he's celebrating 40 years this year.
Yes.
Tell us about it.
Well, 40 years ago this year, I started performing for the first time. I played my instrument and I got paid.
It's the best feeling in the world.
Yeah.
Trust me, I know.
Yeah, so I started studying, taking lessons like 3 years before that, and then I advanced. And then out of the blue, there's two musicians show up at my house that I've seen them in bands, playing. So they, hey, we need a percussionist. So okay, so all right. So then I started. It was actually this year, but 1980, but more like 2 weeks after Carnival. It was around that time.
Okay.
And then I started performing, and then like in August of that same year, I went to Boston to embark on my academic career.
Okay, what was your age then? 19?
I was 19 years old.
Oh,
So
okay.
2 years ago,
Okay,
you're
okay,
saying.
okay. 2 years ago.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah, it has been a very interesting journey. I
Yeah.
must say.
Carlos, question.
I can imagine.
You do percussion, right?
My instrument,
Of
let's go. When I went to college, my
Yeah.
principal instrument was drums,
Oh,
and
okay,
I was in the performance program. When you're in the performance program, you have to. Your main instrument is drums in this case,
All right.
but then you have to start a little bit of snare drum, a little bit of marimba, timpani.
Okay.
On the side, I studied Latin percussion with Cubans and Puerto Ricans in the Boston area.
Nice. Okay.
Great. And so you had a concert. Tell us about that.
Well, the concert was celebrating 140 years, but also exposing, because an artist is the sum of all of his influences.
That's right.
I am known here in Aruba for jazz, and there's a very specific reason why I embrace jazz, because I see jazz as an element that enriches other cultures because of the harmonic and melodic sophistication, which is our music is very sophisticated rhythmically, not harmonically and melodically. So I use that to enrich our music through teaching my students. But my other the other loves in my music is tropical music, salsa, merengue, Haitian music, calypso. So reggae. So this concert was a celebration of all of that, all of my influences. So it was a concert, like they say in Spanish, para todos los gustos. So and the singers did a great job. I'm more known for like instrumental music, not much with singers. But then this time I really expose singers.
But I do know that you have ties with Lenora, I believe, and you have Sama working with her all the time.
Yeah, Lenora Helms. She's a professor at the University Central. North Carolina Central University.
Okay.
Well, one of the historically black colleges. though I'm an instrumentalist, I'm pretty known for instrumental music, but I love jazz vocals.
Oh, wow.
And so and over the years that I've been doing the Carlos Bislip Jazz Expo, many times singers approach me, hey, I want to sing, I want to sing. And
Yeah.
then, okay, so I let them sing a song, but then like in jazz, you sing a song, you sing a chorus of the song, and then you move aside, and then you come back, you sing another chorus. That's not jazz vocals. So when I got reconnected with Lenora Helm, because we went to college together,
Okay.
and then when we got reconnected, I saw what she was doing at her university, and that she gave distant learning online.
Yeah.
So then I reached out to her, I told her what I'm doing, and I would like to involve jazz vocals in a more
Prominent way.
yes, and directed,
Yeah.
with a purpose. So then we did that like for 4 years. But then with this COVID thing,
Yeah.
everything
Yeah.
went haywire.
Yeah.
So I have a serious passion for jazz vocals, and I know my passion. But then, like when talking to Lenore, she said, "Carlos, you're so unusual, man. Like, especially drummers, man. Really don't like jazz, but." I'm a sucker for ballads. I love ballads.
So you mean pop ballads?
No, jazz ballads.
Jazz. What's an example of a jazz ballad?
Well,
What one that we would know?
an example of a song of what makes a song
Yeah.
a jazz ballad.
Either.
The Masquerade is over. Not this Masquerade from
From the Carpenters.
No, not this Masquerade from George Benson.
Oh.
But
Yeah.
the Masquerade is over, and it was sung by, it was recorded by very many jazz artists, Carmen McRae, Nancy Wilson, so
Beautiful.
beautiful ballad,
Carlos,
beautiful.
quick question. You say you like jazz vocalists. Who would you recommend to someone who would want to get into that field of jazz vocalists?
As to listen to or
yeah,
to
like who are the all-time greats in that, in your opinion?
Carmen McRae,
Okay.
Ella Fitzgerald, Nancy Wilson,
All right.
Carla Bley.
Do you know that Diane Shore?
Diane Shore is like the most like recent. Now I'm talking
Yeah.
about the old school.
Oh, okay.
Sarah Vaughan. Oof, so very sultry, and it takes a very special. You have to have a history to sing these songs
Okay.
in a significant way.
Yeah.
Because the songs
I know what you mean.
they show like life,
Yes.
and then if you haven't lived certain things, you cannot sing about it.
You can hear it too. Also,
Like that. There's a very interesting statement. The account that happened. I think it was Coleman Hawkins, a jazz saxophone player, and this is the post bebop. Pre bebop era. So like late 30s, and he was in a recording session. Recording instrumental music, jazz, and then at a certain point in the recording session, he just stopped. And then and back then it's like, the recording button goes on and everybody plays together. It's not
Yeah.
like now.
Right.
So then he just stopped, and then I say, hey, Cole, what happened, man? And he's improvising, right? And he stopped and he said, I forgot the lyrics to the song.
Oh.
So to play for him, to play a significant solo, he had to be thinking about the lyrics in his head.
Oh.
And that to me,
right.
that's next level stuff.
Yeah, that seems
Right,
genius.
right,
Like,
right.
oh, that's the
Amazing.
way.
Do you have a passion for jazz or?
I'm very confused by jazz.
Oh, yeah.
To be honest with
Some
you.
people will be.
I'm gonna tell you this story, and this is. Have you ever heard of Kamasi Washington?
I've heard of him, yeah.
Yeah, like when he came out, everybody's like, "This is it. This is what you have to watch at." And I'm watching all the reviews, and I'm like, I like jazz. I like certain jazz. I like Elton Jones. I like, of course, Coltrane, Miles Davis. The normal stuff that you would hear.
The standards.
Yes, exactly. So Kamasi Washington album comes out. It's a triple album. It's like 2 hours long. I listened to it. The first song is good, 6, 7, 8 minutes. It was okay. But then I just got lost in the rest of the album, and I paid money for that album. And ever since then, I kind of went, I'm kind of done. I don't get it.
Well,
But there's,
No, but that's a trend nowadays. Like for instance, as I said earlier,
Yeah.
I'm known here for jazz, right? So then a lot of people call me, hey, Carlos, we want something jazz, Okay.
Yeah.
So then, like, when they call me, I say, whoa. So I choose the musicians, I choose the songs, and then when I go and perform, what they understand what jazz is not what I know that jazz is, and that's the problem with marketing these days.
Yeah.
How they label certain things, it's like everybody knows what chocolate cake is, right?
yeah.
Don't try and convince me that a maca cake is chocolate cake.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maca
Right.
is maca, chocolate
Right.
is chocolate.
Exactly.
Right.
But then if you don't know the difference, and then people will sell you anything. So that's what's going on in these days. People are confused to what jazz really is, and but that every era of jazz came with its contradictions.
Yeah.
But there must be a line. Like every era had something different to add to it.
Yeah.
But then the executors of that music could justify what they're doing.
Yeah. I
But then
imagine.
if you just doing whatever and then but you can't justify musically what you're doing theoretically, and then like you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah. So when did you come back from Boston?
To
Aruba.
My journey has been pretty interesting. I left 40 years ago. I finished in 4 years my diploma, not the bachelor's degree, and then I stayed in Boston for 1 year. I was teaching and performing. I was teaching in different places and performing. I came back to Aruba in '85. I stayed for 3 years, and then I went to Indiana University.
All right.
Okay.
And in Bloomington, Indiana. I stayed there for 2 years. I came back to Aruba in 1990. I stayed here. I came back all energized. It was 30 years ago with new ideas, and then I stayed there for 5 years. But I always knew that I wanted to go back to do a master's. So I wanted to do a master's, but life circumstances made it that I had to come back. And then when I came back, I started the Aruba Art Ensemble concept idea and started doing concerts. And then I sort of started for the lack of a better word, a relationship with Unoka. I started doing projects.
Yeah.
And I started talking a lot with Pancho, who was the director at that time, and telling him what my ideas, what I want to do. I want to go and study arts administration, and then he said, he was looking towards the future of the arts here in Aruba, so he encouraged me to apply to go and to pursue this. So I applied. They approved it. And then that was one angle in the project that I got my funding for school, but then you have to live. I was like at that time I was like remarried. I have a kid, so I went to the government and told them my predicament, and then they put me in a special program where I got a leave of absence with pay.
Oh, nice.
And with the commitment that I'll come back and contribute to the cultural life here in Aruba. So long story short, I when I came back in '99, because I went in '95.
Oh.
And then I came back in '99, and then I've been here ever since, working towards the what I do, the development. I try to summarize it in one sentence. I try to enrich the quality of life here in Aruba.
Exactly.
With the arts.
Exactly. That's exactly the why we have this podcast too.
Yeah.
To underline the importance of art every day, and how it makes life beautiful in general. It's well-being, It's for our well-being.
I don't want to bulldoze this
No, go
thing,
right ahead.
but,
No,
Break it
go right
down.
ahead.
I have when I have students and or they're little young adults, I try to convince them of one thing, like you have a kid, your children, if you put different foods in front of them, plus ice cream, they'll always go for the ice cream.
Right.
Yeah.
They'll go for the ice cream
Right.
3 times a day.
Right.
Not if they're
You know?
lactose
Right.
intolerant.
All right.
Right.
Yeah,
So, because they like it.
yeah that's
But
true.
is it good for their?
Exactly.
It's not nutritious.
Yeah.
You will be
Exactly.
malnourished. You'll get
Exactly.
diabetes.
Exactly.
But you go after what you like
Yeah.
because I like that, and it's my it's my right to have what I like, whatever.
Yeah.
Now, so the your physical is not nurtured properly. When we go to the soul, arts is also very important
Yes.
because arts culture because you could be malnourished in that sense if you have if you have depleted if you are depletion of arts and culture you may look healthy from the outside but your soul is not complete
Yeah, it's-
and that is the problem that we have here that people don't understand how important art is to the whole of the human
Exactly.
being. It's not only have a good job, pay your bills,
Yeah.
live in a nice house, drive a nice car. You know, it's that is sometimes people could have all of that and then be empty.
Yeah.
It's
that's true.
literally, I think, the cultivation of a soul, of a brain,
Exactly.
where you use arts and culture for. Talking about nourishment, let's go to Subway.
Let's go.
What have you had at Subway lately?
Oh, you know what? This is not a popular thing on the menu, but I had a sandwich. I had a sandwich. I had a sandwich at Subway. But let me tell you
And
something.
what's your favorite filling?
I would say, well, I used to be vegan, then I was vegetarian, then I came to my senses, and then I started eating meat again. So I would just say oven roasted chicken breast.
No offense to all vegans. Chicken breast, yeah. Love it. You, Carlos, you have a favorite Subway sub?
Yeah, the big Philly.
The big
Oh,
Philly?
with the
Steak?
cheese,
Oh, yeah,
yes.
man. You know,
Now we're talking.
know,
Now we're talking.
Would you ever like put the double
Philly?
double meat on it? Because you could double up on
no,
the
no,
meat.
no, no, no. No.
I do that in the morning, and then I don't eat for a whole week because I'm still trying to digest all that meat.
Oh, my
The
gosh.
double, will
Yeah,
just,
yeah, yeah.
that'll kill you.
Yeah, they fill it up very
Oh,
well.
they're very very friendly with the meat.
That's
Oh.
amazing. Subway Eat Fresh. I always put oregano on my stuff, whatever I take, and it's got antioxidants too,
Okay.
And don't forget about them cookies.
And always check their Facebook page for their daily and weekly specials. Thank you, Subway. Eat fresh. We're back. We're talking about nourishment
Yeah.
of the soul.
I had a question for you. Like when you were younger and you were starting to listen to music, how did you get like the outside stuff? Did you get LPs, CDs?
You know,
Way back when, you mean?
Yeah.
Lately when I've been promoting the concert, I tell this story, and I'll tell you what I want you to take away from this story.
Okay.
I was in Mavo, John Wesley College, and it was the third year of Mavo,
Okay.
and I was a terrible student. I managed to like blijf zitten with
Stay back.
not one voldoende. My highest
wow.
grade
Oh my
was a 4.5.
goodness. That gives all kids hope.
Yeah.
So Friday comes, the last day of class. And my mom, hey, how do you think it's gonna go? I don't know. So I come like nothing, like
God.
below 5. Everything like I had like 2s and 3s. Yeah, and then but I used to party every weekend. And I'm talking right now then I was like maybe 16, no 15 maybe. I used to.
Okay.
So the vacation comes and my mom says, "Look, party all you want. This vacation, things are gonna change. Come August." So okay, because I love to go to parties, love to dance.
All right.
So my mom enrolls me in Cima Danza.
Yeah.
She enrolls me. That's a dance school, and she enrolls me in music classes. In 3 months, I excel in dance. That I was dancing with the the group of Sima Danza
The
performing
ensemble.
and performing in the hotels, dancing for the hotel. With the money that I made dancing, I bought my instruments.
Nice.
And in 1 year after that year, my dad took me to watch my drum teacher perform.
Okay.
And he was the drummer in a hotel called Americana. And when I went there, I saw him, and then he was not only the drummer, but he was the director of this show. He was directing, because back then hotel bands accompanied shows, so he was the drummer and the director. And then I said, that is what I want to do. You know, so what I want, the message is not that I was a bad student. The message is that once I got involved in art, I got focused,
Yeah.
and then my grades just went up. And then, and the teachers were so like amazed, because like I was very popular for like not doing anything at school. But then I was like really that, you know. But then the teacher said, "Man, look at Carlos, man. He just like didn't do anything. But then when he got focused, he did it. Finished.
Can
finished
you
high
imagine?
school, you know, and then prepared 1 year, and then went to college. When 19 years old, you know, and now I have a master's degree. So it's not like I did bad because I couldn't study. It's just because I had no focus.
Did you have like ADHD-ish kind of thing?
You know, well, I don't know what it was, but what was interesting, when I finished my master's degree, you know, I was doing some research and whatever, and then after I finished my master's degree, I come and find out that I'm dyslexic.
Oh,
You know, so
that's what you just said. Yeah.
You know, so then and I said, man, that's why I had such a hard time. Like, because it was a master's degree in arts administration, so reading a lot of books about different many. And I spent so much time reading, and then reading something over and over again, like numbers, man. Like if I have to give you a number, I have to like look at it good, you know, because it makes the numbers.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. But
Hey, but that is a real inspiring story.
It is.
That art gave Carlos focus.
no,
You
that,
know,
that-
and you see, I think how many people need things like this to guide them. You know.
you know that there's I have to look at this for this guy's name. He gives lectures on YouTube, and he's an advocate for the renovation of education,
Yes.
and he's always talking about what education is now is not relevant for what the world is going on in the
Exactly.
world. He
Exactly.
explained the history of public
Exactly.
school,
Yes.
how public school was set up to provide
Factory workers.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
And then he told this story and about these parents that have kids that ADHD, how you want to call it, and then they took the kid to a specialist, and then the specialist told the parents, you know, please leave the room, let me talk to the kid.
Yeah.
And after like a half hour, he called them back. He said, listen, enroll this kid in dance classes, okay? Because this person became one of the major choreographers in Broadway.
Oh wow! See how that worked out?
Some kids
You know,
learn through
but
moving.
if it was for the parents, pills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be a
Yeah, yeah,
solution,
yeah.
But then this guy's in love, and so
Yeah.
so she became
Yeah.
probably very successful dancer, choreographer. Didn't become a lawyer. Nothing wrong with being a lawyer, you know. But you know,
Yeah.
everybody have to be what they have to be.
Not all lawyers can have food on the table.
Yeah. And also contributing to the well-being of like the artists. They contribute to the well-being of others, you know.
Exactly, exactly. The inspiration and beauty.
Yeah.
But listen, it's the truth, because like my daughter is in high school now, and she doesn't see the purpose of certain things, and I in great part give her you know, she's right. Why in this day and age do kids have to learn facts and facts and facts and facts? In fact, I find what they have to be learning is how to look up all those facts.
Oh.
Because you can find them everywhere now. You know, what is a good source, what is not a good source, and give them the highlights of important tidbits of the world, let's
Yeah.
say, and then they'll be interested in it.